That's us, man. 24/7.
You should expect the unexpected. I mean,
Make it known that this is all about being 100% authentic.
We are live now.
So with that being said, let's jump right in.
All right, so Tavis,
Uh-huh.
I mentioned how we work with the youth here in Nashville, but you also work with youth in Memphis, and you've been doing that for some time now. So you have an organization called MDL Inc. Tell everybody what MDL stands for, and then tell us a little bit about the organization.
Sure. This is my 33rd year with MDL Inc. It started when I was just in the 7th grade.
nice.
And right. So it was a group of friends. The first 5, it's seven of us total, but the first 5 were friends in kindergarten. And then I came along in the 1st grade. And then the founder of MDL, Dr. Atwell, the 5th grade. So we went to middle school. Well, it was junior high then, but we went to middle school, and she came up with an idea, and we were all fascinated by it. So it took us a year to plan on what we wanted it to look like. And then in 1988, we launched MDL, and 33 years later, I'm the executive director, and it's just me now, but it works, and I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world.
So Tavis, for the I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Forgive me.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was going to say, for those who may not be able to see it on the website, what does MDL stand for?
It stands for Modern Distinctive Ladies.
Awesome. Dope.
Yes.
Dope.
So this is a time where it's critical raising a girl. I service them from 14 to 18. In the beginning, I did. So it was originally 10th grade through 12th, but now things have changed. And so now I service middle school at this point. But, due to social media and influences, it gets harder and harder every year to mentor girls. And so if you think about mentoring someone who's 15, pretty much their mind is already made up. Either they're going to do wrong or do right. So I decided to go in middle school, because see, they're in the middle, so that's really critical, because you really can make a greater impact with the younger kids. And so normally I just keep them from 5th grade. Some of them stay, not all of them, but some of them stay to high school and they graduate. But all of my girls, I do have a 100% success rate. Every girl that goes through my program gets accepted to at least one college or university. They were staying from being pregnant. And they're all honor roll students too. So
big deal.
That's dope.
That's epic. And Tavis, that brings me to a question I wanted to ask you, because I did see on the website where it said you had 100% success rate, but I also saw where the purity pearls, how you have you have I guess the girls make a pledge to be pure.
Absolutely.
But I noticed that you said, they abstain from being pregnant. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're abstaining from being sexually active.
Absolutely.
Is the virginity something that you're pushing? Or is it one of those things where it's like, all right, I realize it's 2020, 2021, kids are going to be kids, and there's a lot of influence around them. So, because I've never had an opportunity to talk to somebody who leads an organization that really pushes for those purity pledges. Like, how do you go about keeping their minds shaped,
So that's a great question that you asked, because there is a difference between MDL and Purity Pearls. But Purity Pearls is it's an abstinence program, and I don't teach safe sex. The only way to be 100% sure that you're not pregnant is to be abstinent. Now, do I ask the girls, have they had sex or anything like that? I don't. Purity Pearls is what's God's design for our bodies. And so a lot of times people say, when you say purity, your mind automatically thinks about, goes to as far as sex, but it's so much more than that. It's pure from jealousy, overeating, gossiping, and, all of those things. So what I do with Purity Pearls is that I educate the whole child. And so every aspect of that. So yes, sex is a piece of that, but I don't ask them only because I believe we serve a God of second, third, fourth, fifth chances. And so when they're in my program, I teach them what's right and what's wrong, and then we move forward from there. So
I have a question for you as well, and this is for either one of them. Of course, obviously, you're a woman, right? And of course, I'm sure there's a story. But with what you've started and what you're doing and what you're building, first of all, it's amazing. That is great.
Thank you.
Is fitting into our women like that. But I just want to know, is there something, if it's too personal, you don't have to say it, but I just want to know, is there something that triggered you to really go after our women and young women at that? Especially with you being at such a young age, 7th grade, is there a story behind that, or is that just something that you've always been interested in? Was there something that caused you to want to have interest in that?
That's a great question. It's both. I am number 12 of 13 children. So I kind of learned, I'm number 12. So I kind of learned, what to do.
Hold on.
I didn't know that. I'm learning something new here.
Wait. We're gonna have to slow that down. We're not gonna speed past that. 12 of 13.
Yes, I'm number 12 of 13. Yes. But my mom did not birth 13. When my parents got together, my mom had 3. And my father, had a previous marriage, and my mom was too, but my father had 8 children, right, by his first wife. And
that's still a lot. Like,
that is a lot.
It's a lot. Oh, it's a lot. It's
like
a lot.
13 kids showing up for Thanksgiving dinner is not one turkey.
Absolutely.
That's like 10.
Man, absolutely. And so, and then they had me and my brother, who made 13, but my father said that he wanted to have like 10 more kids by my mom. Isn't that crazy? He did. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a try.
To be fruitful and multiply.
Where's your dad from? Is he from the island?
No. Pops was trying to go ahead and
is he from Memphis?
Town. He was trying to build his own town.
Yes, he was from Memphis. Yes. But it was just him and his brother. So he wanted a large family.
Got it.
So family was very important to him. And so he wanted to be fruitful and multiply, and he did.
Yeah,
that literally
he definitely left his mark here.
That'd have been 21 kids.
Man, exactly.
You want to talk about losing your mind?
Absolutely.
And your mom said it ain't happening.
Yeah, because she had a lot of complications with my brother, so that was the end of that. So that's what stopped it. But my father, he said, I wanted that.
Dev, I don't know if you.
So how did that bridge into MDL and Pure and was it Purity Pearls?
Purity Pearls, yeah. So I'm a PK. Right, PK. And so my mom, I watched her as a child mentoring. She was a choir director, and she mentored girls, and then she also worked in a correctional facility. So I saw her mentoring girls. So it almost kind of like just came natural.
Okay.
And then by me and my friends, all of us are, were very close, and our parents just kept us a tight niche on us. So that's how it started.
Okay. Wow.
Excellent.
That was
Excellent. So T Weezy Walt is actually also in education.
Okay.
What are the what grade level you teach, Walt?
I teach 9 through 12, but I could do 6 through 12.
Same here.
And do y'all have any programs at your high school, Walt, for young women?
Yes, there is. I cannot think of the name of the program, but there is a program that actually one of my colleagues, and I feel horrible for it. Ashley, if you're listening, I'm sorry. They have a program for young women, and they're trying to, just do the same thing, empower young girls, empower young ladies to be girls up. Is what it's called, girls up. So they're trying to do that. That really focuses heavily on young girls. That's the only one I know of that's specific for young females.
In this day and
else,
time.
Everything else is just like kind of general, just like we got a faith-based student-led group, so, but everything else is co-ed. That's the only one I know of that's exclusive to ladies.
That's what's up.
In this day and time, girls are the aggressor. They're more aggressive than the guys. So it's much needed.
But
Tavis, what's your take on that? Why do you think that is?
Yeah, that's what I was about. A great question, Dan.
Devin, Tavis is number 12 of 13 kids. Just so you know.
That's a beautiful thing.
But she was about to be 12 of 21.
Absolutely.
Her dad wanted 10 more kids.
He wanted 10 more.
If Brother Wade would have had his way,
absolutely,
it would have been 21.
If I could just touch the hem of his garment.
Yeah. Ooh, child, that's a lot.
Yeah. So that
want to being pregnant.
Sound like your pop was about that action.
Yeah, he was. Right. But I think girls are more aggressive because of what they see on TV.
Yeah.
So when I started Purity Pearls, right? So in MDL, I had about 150 girls at that time, right? And so I was a debutante in high school. And so I've always wanted to host a debutante ball of my own. And so that's how Purity Pearls came about. So, I thought by me having 150 girls in Memphis and Mississippi, that it would be like a rite of passage, almost like the girls would want to join it, right? So I had an interest meeting. And so Pearls, and Pearl stands for Purity Evolves a Real Lady. So that's what Purity Pearls. So when I had the interest meeting, and it was open to the public, so it was mostly the public that came, only maybe 2 of my girls out of 150 girls.
Wow.
And so, right. So I'm like, wow, I was very saddened, and I didn't understand like why girls did not want to be known for being pure, because in my day, I mean, if you were a virgin or what, like you would on a pedestal, right? Well, now it's totally opposite. And I'm gonna tell you, it happened so fast. I watched an episode because I prayed. I was like, God, why are they not interested in being pure? And so I watched an episode from The Game. And so it was Lauren London in Blue. I don't remember her name.
Oh yeah.
In Blue.
And Blue.
Right?
Jay Ellis.
So they were getting ready to get it on, and she told him that she was a virgin, and he stopped talking to her.
Yeah.
And and when I watched the episode, I was like, what? And so the next month I had a meeting with my girls because I wanted to know, like, what in the world is going on? Like, guys don't want to touch girls that's pure and virgins, but they said that they're needy. They become needy, you know, so the guys don't want to fool with them anymore. So because they're needy. So a lot of like the new girls that I was interviewing, even though they may not have been sexually active, but they would portray as if they were, so the guys would like them.
Wow.
So social media has the upper hand on the influence of, you know, of our girls. And now, you know, we watch all these shows that the girls, they fight over guys, and the guys can just sit back and just, you know, chill because, yeah, we're going to fight over them and we're going to do all of these things and they don't have to do anything. And at the end of the night, he probably going to leave with one and then leave her house and go to the next. So they don't the guys don't even have to compete. It's the girls, you know?
Yeah.
So I have two questions for you with that being said. Do you think, well, my first question, why do you think these girls seek the attention of the guys with you mentoring them? Has anything ever came out of that, like fathers absent or, you know, something like that? Has anything
Oh my gosh. Half and half of absent fathers, and they seek that approval from guys. I host a conference every year called Loving Me Rocks, right? And so I had a session, the end of the session, and it was an all-male panel. And the panel was called What They're Really Saying About You. And so, I mean, it was very powerful, but the guys were actually just talking, you know, like really just basically saying that, you know, you can post these news, you can post all of that, but I'm not bringing you home to mama. I'm going to bring home that little church girl or that innocent portray girl, you know, but this one, you know, you're for a season, but you're not who I'm going to, you know, pick. And so girls really needed to hear that, not only to act like they're someone that they're not, but just to be themselves, you know? So, but they really needed to hear that, you know, but it's as a principal in Vegas, when I accepted a position, I had a girl that she had already given birth. She's in the 5th grade in elementary school. She had already given birth to, you know, to her baby. And
your body isn't even a body yet. Oh my word.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. So it happens.
And what I will say, Crystal, though, like, don't think about it from, you know, the 40s and 50s when you were growing up. You got to think about it like nowadays, the steroids and all of the different hormones and things that's in food. These young girls are developing.
They are developed.
Crazy early, you know, crazy early. You know, I've heard stories of young girls like hitting puberty younger than 5th grade. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's like you can only imagine, and we've all heard of all of the creeps that are out there, you know, preying on young women, or young girls. So it's just to think that would happen is just horrible.
That's scary.
Yeah. Yo, if you haven't, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and follow 5 Things Off the Wall on all platforms.